Agriculture, that is the source of food, consumes more than 70% of water resources. Agriculture is the field that is impacted by drought the most, and it threatens our food security. At every chance, as we would like to underline again that Turkey is not a country that is rich in water resources. The scientific studies show that the usable water per person is around 1,300 cubic meters, and according to the studies, this figure will drop down to around 1,100. And the annual precipitation rates in our country is lower than the world average. Considering the scenarios for climate change, the precipitation in the south of our country is expected to drop by 5 to 20%, and this goes the same for the winter period in the rates of 10 to 40%. And this picture shows that our usable water potential will be depleted much more in the forthcoming eras. We have to protect our water resources, use them effectively, and manage them accurately. And it is no longer a choice, but an obligation for us all. As a country, we know that our future, which in other terms our water should be protected so that it doesn't run through and off our fingers. And we, for that reason, take our precautions. Over the past decades, we have made a lot of studies to protect agriculture and run agricultural activities with realistic, planned, and programmed policies. And we have brought it to onto sound grounds. Those who can use water effectively, productively, and manages water resources effectively will be successful, and that's why we have given a higher share in those. So far, we have made an investment of $284 billion, and more than 8,600 water facilities have been opened to service. So over the past 19 years, many projects have been materialized, and 600 dams stored totally 45 billion cubic meters of water, which is much, much higher than what was done throughout the history of our republic. And in the same area, we have opened about 20 million acres of area for irrigation, and the figure of the irrigatable lands has increased to 67 million acres. And we have brought the fruitful lands of Anatolia to water resources that are accessible, and this translated into agricultural income increase and contributed both to our economy overall and our farmers and all relevant people. The water we use also is treated and used for many fields, primarily agriculture, and we have speeded up our works in this regard. We have with 253 projects have completed many projects in lands, and so far we have studies ongoing in 3.4 million hectares of area currently. And this way, water usage and inputs for production have been decreased, which translated into increase in productivity. We have been using our clean and local energy resources, and to activate them, we have commissioned more than 500 hydro power facilities, and we also have prepared action plans for 81 provinces for potable water. Thanks to the investments we have made in this direction, we have annually provided 2.7 billion cubic meters of additional water to 41 million citizens of our country. If we had not made such investments, our cities in 2021 and 2022 would have faced the risk of lack of water partially or completely. Across the country, we have 90 potable water projects ongoing, and this will be translating into an additional 1.8 billion cubic meters of water for 18 million citizens. And we have also flood protection facilities, which are 19 in number, and we have commissioned them over the past 2 decades and protected our people and also their properties for the possible and potential damages that could be caused by floods. We, not only in our country but also in many other places of the world, have made water investments, and we have, for example, opened 512 drilling wells, drinking water wells in Africa. In Syria, in particular, we have continued with our activities of security and humanitarian assistance, and with 143 water wells we digged, we contributed to meeting the needs of millions of brothers and sisters across our borders. Distinguished guests, in this forum where we discuss the future of our water resources and talk about the precautions and measures to be taken, we have a final declaration, and we will be sharing it with you in summary. Over the past 19 years, our goal for water resources was to ensure that every citizen accesses clean water resources and our fruitful lands are irrigated effectively and used productively. And now we are planning the future of water and come up with our roadmap. In the World Forum, 11 different working groups worked and addressed all relevant subjects related with water and came up with short, mid, and long-term strategies. And we will be sharing it with everyone, and we have determined those by taking the opinions of all relevant parties, from our farmers to NGOs, from academics to the users of water. All relevant parties contributed and have been included in this process. And now, after this 7-month-long intensive work, we have came up with a 28-item final declaration of the Water Forum, and I would like to share it with you. Water productivity strategic document and water basin-based water efficiency programs and plans will be prepared. Municipalities will decrease further the water loss from 35% to 28% by municipalities. To ensure sustainable water systems are established from 2020 on, water waste pricing studies will be initiated. For economic usage of water, stage-oriented tariffs and social and fair water tariffs will be put to use within the framework of a European Green Deal. Waste water will be brought to the usable quality and reused for agricultural purposes primarily. For management of water, basin-based and holistic structures will be further strengthened. And until 2023, all necessary regulatory procedures and formalities will be initiated to protect our existing water resources, to optimize their usage, and to ensure sustainability of water resources. Management plans for 25 water basins will be completed and put to practice. This way, all activities regarding water, basin management plans will be followed, and this will be ensured. To tackle the legal gaps in water management, we will be preparing a law, an act on water, which is in compliance with the European regulations. to ensure the water is used effectively, sustainably, and also in a holistic fashion. Strategies and policies will be included in all national plans and policies. Drinking water treatment facilities, characteristics of water, and also region-specific issues will be taken into account for operations. From the source to the taps, water management plans will be adopted. In particular, they will be put to practice effectively. Water waste treatment facilities, recycling facilities, and also the usage purposes in the water discharge facilities. River basin management policies will be projected properly to protect the quality of our water resources. The receiving setting based discharging systems will be what we will transit to. Underwater and groundwater sources will be followed, tracked, and monitored, and repetitive and surplus water usage will be prevented. This will translate into interinstitutional effectiveness. The National Water Information System will be disseminated so that data is collected and shared in a standard fashion. Upon the approval of the Paris Climate Convention at the Turkish National Assembly, the climate change measures will be taken into account, and these will be speeded up in line with the water usage, in line with and in accordance with climate change concerns, from drought management to risk management, from crisis management to water management. In all basins, flood and drought management plans will be completed until 2023. In the management of floods and drought, we will be transiting from crisis management to risk management, and will ensure that in all water basins, drought and flood plans in all our country will be complete by 2023. About flood and droughts, forecasts and early warning systems will be established, and before natural disasters, all necessary precautions will be taken. As of the next year, all relevant studies to be conducted will take into account the priorities regarding the climate change and irrigatable lands. Modern irrigation systems will be disseminated to be economical. In irrigation projects, new financing models will be established, which will include private sector as well. Water and water basing projects will be determined in line with their potential, and product patterns will be identified, and agriculture in accordance with water will be taken into account as a priority. The irrigation facilities will be controlled remotely with digital technologies and automation systems, and it will contribute to the economical usage of water. To decrease the energy costs and expenditures in irrigation, measures will be taken accordingly. Considering that our country is located in a very active earthquake belt, we will be conducting and developing all necessary legal regulations to further increase the water storage capacity of our country in the proper locations. We will continue with dam construction projects, and we will also ensure that the economic life cycles of the existing dams are further increased in line with the measures to be taken. Underwater resources and their artificial feedings will be of the projects on which we will construct further facilities. Water and climate change literacy will be of our priorities, and we will be conducting awareness raising and training activities in this regard. And against the natural disasters that are caused by climate change, to be able to take precautions beforehand in city plannings and agricultural activities, the usage of meteorological data will take a larger share. In upper basins, for the practices of restoration, local experience and know-how will be taken into the core of our activities, and nature-oriented measures will be put to the core. Water management-related R&D studies will be further developed and improved in their scope. Yes, as I in particular underlined, the first Water Forum final declaration hopefully will be auspicious for our country and for our people. Every item, every article in this declaration, every target and goal and actions related will be followed very closely. The Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, and also all other institutions, NGOs, authorities, and members of the private sector. I would like to thank to you all very much for your great contributions. I extend my love and respect to each and every one of you. Thank you all very much. Stay in health.
Şuramızı onurlandırdıkları için teşekkür ediyoruz. Değerli konuklar, şimdi Sayın Cumhurbaşkanı Yardımcımız Fuat Oktay'a bir takdim yapılacak. Önce Tarım ve Orman Bakanımız Doktor Sayın Bekir Pakdemirli'yi sahneye davet ediyoruz. Cumhurbaşkanı Yardımcımız Sayın Fuat Oktay'ın